Hi. So I know it's been a while. It's been a couple of weeks, almost 3 weeks. Sorry it's taken so long to get back. I just wanted to pop in here. I am trying to get better at making the videos. Just do the thing. I have seen so many people encouraging, all it takes is just hit record. So I went ahead and I just hit record. I'm like, now's the best time as ever. How are you doing is what I would like to know. Are you suffering through this heat like the rest of us? I know at my job we've had a couple of the units down, so it's been like the same temperature inside as outside. It's been horrendous. I'm like, we about to die up in here. It's crazy. But when I was on vacation, I wanted to let y'all know I did get the brisket pressure canned, like I said I was going to. I did get that done. Just a small little, catch up from last time. And the cat did survive the window escapade. I went and got him down, fixed the blackout curtain over there so that he can't get back up in that window. But how are you? I've already asked how are you doing, and I'm sorry. I am working very hard to get better at this, but it happens. Throughout the day when I'm at work, I encounter a lot of people, and a lot of them are so wonderful. I get to watch a lot of these now adults, young adults. I've watched them grow up, and then I watch them build their families. I was just talking to a gentleman today. I've known him since he was 16 years old. He was a bagger for us for a while. And I was noticing today because he has a birthmark, a big red birthmark right here under his eye. Well, it used to be a lot bigger, and when I saw him tonight, I'm like, hey, do you realize that your birthmark's gotten smaller? And he's like, it has. And I was like, yeah, it really has. And he says, to be honest, I don't even see it. Well, and that's understandable. I told him, I said, that's because you look at it every day. So you're not going to see it. And he kind of laughed. He said, I'll have to go back and check. I said, well, I've known you quite a while. He says, yeah, since I was 16. I'm like, yeah, you got a point there. So, excuse me. Small things like that. There was another young lady came in earlier, and I mean, she's a little tiny thing, and she always says hi to me, and I'm always trying to be upbeat, and I'm not sure if, she doesn't get a lot of compliments, but every time she told me, she says, you are always so kind to me, and that's my natural way, but I feel like what I say to her matters just because of the way I say it. And I was asking her, I was like, hey, I'm curious, and I don't want you to feel any kind of way, but what do you weigh? Or you maybe weigh what, 90 pounds? She said, I actually weigh 98, but I'm trying to gain some weight. And I said, well, I can see where you want to gain a little more weight, because I mean, she is tiny. Her waist, honest to goodness, no lie, is probably about that big around. She's just tiny. And I told her, I said, whether you gain any more weight or not, you are beautiful just as you are. And it shocked me inside that she looked at me like she was about to cry. And no joke, I felt like she was fixing to give me a hug or something. But I think she just held back. But she was like, thank you. Thank you, you're so kind. And there's no reason not to be kind, you know? And so many people today are so frustrated. And so the heat has them so cranky. It's, and whatever you can do to make a person feel better is what I try to do. I go out of my way to say nice things to everybody. Because that's what I want. I want people to be nice to me, and I feel if that's what I want, that's what I should give. Life is hard, and everybody's going through something. One of our cashiers came in, she came in to work the late shift, and she was closing with me, and I noticed when she walked in, she kind of didn't seem like herself. Well, it was a little while, it was a few hours before I had a chance to actually talk to her, because we were pretty steadily busy. We're coming up on the 4th of July, so, you know, we had people constantly coming and going and in and out. But when I had a moment, I'm like, hey, are you okay? And she just kind of paused for a minute. She said, yeah. She said, I'm just tired. I didn't get to sleep until, you know, probably about 6 or 7 this morning. Excuse me. She says, I'm just tired. That's all. I was like, okay. I'm like, you're sure? She nodded her head. She says, yeah. And I was like, okay. Because I noticed you didn't seem like yourself. And she's like, that's all it is. And I was like, okay. And I left it at that. If it was anything else, she knows she can come to me and talk to me about it. And, you know, it'll be fine. But that's the thing. Make sure people know that you can they can come and talk to you. I was standing there, and there was this young girl, and I guess she had her little brother with her. And the little boy seemed to be about, I would say, 6 or 7. And with the self-checkout that they were at, the particular register they were at, it had a turntable with 4 bag racks on it. Well, he was starting to spin that bag rack. He was mad at her because she told him no about something that he couldn't get it and he wanted it. And so he started spinning that. Well, he was just tall enough to where if he spun it just right, one of those metal racks would have caught him probably right about the chest, right about here. And all I said was, I very quietly, I was like, you might not want to do that because you could end up getting hurt. Y'all, he gave me this defiant cut of the eyes and spun it again anyway, just to prove to me he was going to do what he wanted to do. And then looked at me like he was daring me to speak to him again. I said nothing. I just watched and made sure that he did not get hurt. It was not a fight that I needed to fight. Sometimes you just can't. You can't. You just got to let them learn, as far as I can tell. But, you know, he was okay. He didn't get hurt or anything. That's the one thing I made sure didn't happen. But I say all this to say, you know, I really don't know what I was saying other than just to tell you what was going on in my day today. That was it, you know. I encounter all kinds of people in my day-to-day life. One of my coworkers, I'd went on break and went outside. Well, you know, it's like sweltering 90-something degrees outside. And when I came back in, I told her, I was like, yeah, I took a deep breath. She goes, you okay? And I said, I'm just trying to not melt, basically. And she said, well, we're supposed to have severe storms sometime. And I'm like, sometime when? Sometime could be any time this summer. And she goes, no, sometime within the next day or so. So me being me, I opened up, my Weather Channel app, and I looked at us, and I was like scrolling hourly all the way through till like Friday evening, and I went, ma'am, let me just put it to you this way. There is no rain in sight where I'm looking. And even the wind, if we were on a ship, depending on air to get us to move with sails, we would be stuck dead in the water. She laughed at me, took a drink of water, and she said, well, as long as we had food, we'd be fine. And just shrugged, and I'm like, I can't with you today. But, it's just one of those things. In my absence, by the way, I have been working on some designs for t-shirts and tumblers and things. I just don't have that. I don't have all of them up in my shop yet. But I haven't just been wasting time. I've been trying to, not melt, for one. And then just kind of working on some designs because I hadn't updated any designs in my shop recently. And I'm just trying to figure out, sorry, I moved the camera. Trying to figure out exactly what to bring to you, what to talk about. Let me know what you think. I want to know your opinions. If what you think about my videos so far, what I'm doing, if I'm getting better. Definitely let me know if I'm improving, because I'm trying to improve as much as possible. I did have my second doctor's appointment. I think I'm on her we don't like her list. I can't swear that they have one of those, but I would definitely be on it. Because I was not agreeable to take any of the, she was like, have you taken the flu shot? Nope, I do not want it. And have you taken the shingles shot? Nope, I do not want it. There was a lot of I do not want it. And she was like, okay, I'm just going to assume you don't want to take any of these. And I said, and I wasn't mean, I wasn't hateful. But, and I said, that'll be okay. I said, I don't do a lot of those, just simply because I'm 52, I'll be 53 this year. I know everybody says you should take them, but I when it's time, and I will. So I'm not telling anybody not to take them, because you do you and take care of yourself. I am currently having to deal with perimenopause. We have definitely determined I'm in perimenopause, and that in itself is not helping any. I'm trying to figure that out. And I can't remember if I told you she definitely diagnosed me with Hashimoto's. So I'm trying to figure that one out. And I am trying to go back to definitely doing Carnivore. I had really good luck with it the first time around when I was on it, but my dad had gotten sick and he was out of state, so I fell off the wagon with it. Y'all, I am so sorry. This heat is just getting to me. We don't have central heat and air. We have roll-around air conditioners in random strategic places in the house. So it's not as cool as sitting in a refrigerator. So the heat gets to me. But anyway, back on topic. And at that time when I had first started Carnivore, that was a couple of years ago, I was 378 pounds. I am currently sitting at about 350 because I had gained some. Because I went from 378 to 289 before my dad had gotten sick and was in the hospital. Well, when I fell off the wagon, boy, did I fall off the wagon. I mean, I was still trying to follow carnivore, but I was throwing in a lot of the extra processed foods and the pastas and things like that. And I got away from being strict carnivore, but I'm trying to get myself back onto a regular, what I know to be what I know works for me as far as carnivore goes. And I'm doing a good job. I haven't weighed lately, but when I was at the doctor's the last time, I weighed 350. So, I'm doing good. I'm working on it. I'm trying to lose weight as much as I can, because that's one of the stipulations in me getting the surgery on my knee as well. Once I can get my out-of-pocket for my insurance to cover, because you have to pay the upfront out-of-pocket stuff before they do the surgery. But I do have to lose some of the weight too, so I'm working on that as well. And boy, I wish this heat would just let it melt. If we have to go through it, can we not have things like fat melt off of you? That's an idea. We might have to look into putting that in a request somewhere upstairs. Yeah. But I have talked to you. I'm working on the room too. I'll probably do a video or two from there as I'm working on clearing out those boxes as well. But it is hot back there at the moment, so that's why I'm on the couch and not in there. But just let me know what you think. Tell me what you're doing for the 4th. What do you plan on doing? Because I will be at the store. I will be working. It's the way it works. I don't mind, because what are you going to do? Watch fireworks anyway? We don't really do cookouts and things like that. So I might as well work and get extra pay, because I get holiday pay for it. So, there's that. But other than that, I keep saying I'm sorry. I will be back with more information or more stories. Let me know what you think again. And if you would, hit that like button down there. Comment. Subscribe if you'd like. I'm just going to be here talking. And I will catch you later. Bye, y'all.